What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. Before we start this market watch that I already promised you guys I would be doing today, I just want to shout out the Godzilla movie's coming out on Netflix, the anime movie, and I am super excited. Me and the girlfriend are going to be watching it tomorrow. Thank God she enjoys the kaiju flicks with me. So, with that being said, I promised a spicy card at the beginning of this market watch, and you might have noticed on both the circuit break tab and on the Code of the Duelist tab, the top 4 cards are all FAs, followed by Skullmeister, which has actually slowly been trending upwards again. These are interesting because the new cards give it so much that everyone's excited that it's viable, it's playable, and to me, I'm not as excited as everyone else, but Anthony Ellenberg hit me up about this card, and it is pretty awesome. Marshalling Field has gone from a relatively unknown 18-cent card to $2 plus, it seems. Over on eBay, it's hitting almost the $2 mark as well before it's quickly going up, and there's only 4-in-1s. What does this card do? You cannot special summon monsters except machine-type monsters, so that kind of cuts out the Wind Witches from being summonable, but you're doing that turn 1 usually, and you're usually, like, you would hope to do it before you activate this card. Once per turn, you can declare a level from 5 to 9. All level 5 or higher machine-type monsters you control become that level. So if you've managed to play like one spell with most of your monsters, they're at level 5, and you can just increase them straight to level 9. This is huge for the FA archetype. You're able to just make all your monsters very, very beefy and get their effects online. It's actually really good. If a machine-type Xyz monster you control will be destroyed, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. Currently, that's not as relevant with this card as the first effect, but you might have some cute tricks to, you know, up your sleeve, because you can declare pretty much any level and really do what you want with it. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 rank up magic agent chaos force from your deck to the graveyard or graveyard to your hand. Tell me if you found a way to abuse that in FAs, but it's mainly this first effect. You just boost all your guys to level 9, massive stats, and they go crazy. So I think it's a pretty good card overall for the FA archetype. It gives the beatdown factor you've been missing, and other people seem to be grabbing it in really, really quick. 16 total prices. There's only 16 sellers here on TCG Player, and it very, very quickly starts to go up past you know, the $3 mark even. So only 15 on eBay as well. Up to you how you feel about the FAs. Personally, again, for me, I'm not digging the deck like everybody else. Yeah, you got a machine dupe target. How many decks have machine dupe targets that just don't do anything with it? And it's a hard once per turn on that. I don't know. I have a lot of people telling me they love the deck, though, and they're some of the people I personally respect. So it's a toss-up. Maybe it will be really good. I can't tell you the future of how FA is going to work, or even what the support for the last set is, but one thing is for certain, the new support is way better than what was previously given. And there's just sellers, like if you're buying something else from them, you can get this at like what some people sell bulk to vendors. So literally, don't invest in the commons. You're playing penny stocks by far. Linkuriboh is slowly trailing back up. We've got a basically low of $38 here and 37-ish on eBay. It's only going to continue to go up, even though everyone's supposed to have theirs by January 26th. I assume that's going to be the legal date, because Viz Media came out and said everyone should have theirs by then. That should count as an official release date, and that's when we should be able to play this card, hopefully. We'll see, but as it becomes playable, the demand for this is going to skyrocket, and I think it will be settling maybe $45 to $50. It's definitely something you should have been getting over and over and over. You should have had the magazine subscription when this card got announced. There's not much else to say about this card then. It's good. It's going to be played in many a meta deck. The funniest buyout I've seen in a while. Ojama Red. I forgot I had this tab up. Ojama Red got bought out. It's always been a hard to get rare. It's always had a price that it's held above, since it never got a reprint, like above what it really should be worth. This was just funny to me. Like, I don't think it's necessarily competitively viable, but if we ever got Mannequin Cat, there are decks that really abuse this, but it's just hilarious to me. This was, somebody just went AWOL on this one, I feel like. If you think there's a serious reason for this price uppage, let me know in the comment section down below, but I'm not seeing this as really viable. Like, yeah, there's more Java support coming. It doesn't deserve this price tag. Let's make that very clear. It's probably one of the best buyout 2K18 into the year. John Moore was wrong. We'll show him. Unending Nightmare has been going up, and it's coming back down. It received a massive buyout. You see this market price of $9.88. Well, it kind of went up semi-recently, and we see it sitting at $11.50. It was sitting at like $14, $15 on TCG. We see it at $11.50 on eBay, new listings as well. Only 24 results. This is really good against the Pendulum decks, and what's even better about it is you can find actual viability against other decks. You can keep field spells off the field, but you're still going to get this Cosmic Cyclone from time to time, just like Anti-Spell Fragrance would. It's only once per chain, which usually isn't the worst problem. I just find that if you're actually hard countering Pendulums, Anti-Spell Fragrance has always been the better card, but it does limit you from what you can play, whereas Unending Nightmare isn't limiting what you can play. It's not like Royal Oppression where your opponent can use it too or something crazy. You're able to use this one-sidedly. So it is worth its weight. I've been thinking it would go up for a long time. It did go up. And Anti-Spell Fragrance, because of its reprint, is still sitting now at around the $3 mark. It was all the way down to like $1 some odd. And it's been going up as well. People are really anticipating Heavy Metal Foes Electromite, and you can see it through both of these cards. And people are kind of picking their side deck tech, as you might call it. Of course, Anti-Spell Fragrance in my book might be the better card if you're playing True Dracos. True Dracos are able to tribute this card just as they would be Unending Nightmare, but it's a more powerful floodgate in my opinion, and being able to shut it off at any point in time, that's nice for the extra power that it gives you. Whereas this isn't going to stop your opponent from playing, you know, a random spell like Pendulum Call, and then Pendulum Call lets you go straight through this. That would be like backing this with Ash. So it's really up to you how you feel, what you're playing, and how you feel you're playing against the deck overall. Pyrorex, huh? Pyrorex, the Elemental Lord. Elemental Lord hype continuing. Pyrorex here at $12 low. Overdose Gaming, Adam Korn on the scene right away. We see it at $7, our best offer on eBay before $7.58. This one's gonna cool off quickly, even though he's a hot monster, huh? But it's not the best Elemental Lord. It's just not the worst either. It's interesting to see it where it's at. It's really just looking forward to the OCG, deciding what's going to go up. The people who bought in are going to make a profit almost no matter what. It'll probably settle back down at $5 to $6, and then once Elemental Lords come out, it might see a resurgence in hype. Mulan Glacier is obviously the best one, but Pyrorex, I see why you guys went for it, you know? I can see it. Effect Veiler Ultimate Rare is sitting pretty up from its market price. It's at $33 here versus a market price of $27. That's up $6. Obviously, the light plays, heavy plays sell all the time, but a lot of people are clamoring for this card against cards like Grinder Golem. It's seeing some play in the OCG. I don't know how relevant Effect Veiler would be outside of decks that search it, like Blue Eyes, but it's receiving limited hype once again. I personally don't think I would be playing it, but it's always a power card when it goes off and stops what it needs to stop. You can stop Akshik Magician and actually keep your Grinder Golem that they give you. So that's more so the play. You stop them in their tracks and they're not getting their Grinder Golem back right away. They'll have to make another extension play and make like Security Dragon, which currently we don't have in the TCG. So I could see this as a side deck card against strategies like that, and it could be fairly successful, but it's up to you if you want to spend on the super hollowed out, greatest, craziest version or not. and if it will be going up and see viable meta play. That's all very iffy. You can get commons as cheap as 50 cents. You can go with the premium gold. Ooh, that's everybody's favorite, right? But there's... I personally actually just straight up enjoy platinum rare cards. People get so angry at them. And you can see it's setting at a low of $1.43. So it's kind of up to you here. Again, like, these are all iffy calls. They're all could be, might not be's. Like, I personally don't like this one either, but I could see why people are going for it. Fluffle Wings, this is just something somebody told me on Twitch to feature during one of the live streams. They wanted to point out the great price discrepancy between TCG Player and eBay. For some reason, Fluffle Wings on eBay does not sit at that $1 where people are willing to take the stamp, fees, etc. and just ship it out. It's sitting at $1.57, $1.86, etc. Kind of trending up. The Wings engine has always been a good engine. Casuals really like it, and it sees its peek into competitive play from time to time as an engine. The toy vendor, the Wings, the bear. You see here, it's sitting at 46 cents where you can buy 5, so you could just snap them up. You know you have to spend a minimum of $2 on TCG Player. Well, right here, if they were flying off the shelf, this guy, would have sold his already. And then we see Dabbers, who almost meets that requirement. We have 69 of them here from Card Craze Gaming. I actually know them out of Denton. They are at 49 cents, and they're willing to sell all theirs. Voltage Games, another big name, willing to sell all theirs. So, realistically, guys, Fluffle Wings isn't that hype of a card yet. For some reason, on the meta of eBay, it's sticking up there and selling. So, just that always check both in reverse. TCG Player winning out huge on this one for a cute engine, but it is trending slowly upward, so you might want to go ahead and get yours sooner than later. We've seen this card spike to $1.50 to $2 before, realistically, not just eBay price, but on both. So it's up to you what you want to do with that. There's only 34 total sellers of this card, so there's probably a lot of people sitting back and waiting as well. Thanks for watching this Market Watch. I know it had been a while. We're slamming those deck profiles in. I'll be putting more up tomorrow, so sorry if you submitted it and expected it today. I've been super busy. I've got to take my car to get an oil change, get my girlfriend tomorrow night, watch Godzilla, but somewhere in there, I'll try to upload a deck profile or two if I can early on, and if not, it might be late at night. Thanks for watching, everybody.